This woman is extraordinarily woke, as everyone is in Hollywood, but she's woke in a way that's quite deranged.
You know, other movie companies are going to look at her and they're going to say box office poison. And a lot of this is due to her behavior leading up to the film's release.
Minecraft in the United States in one weekend made more money than Snow White has made globally after 3 weeks.
From the moment Rachel Zegler stepped into the Snow White spotlight, you could feel the tension. Whispers flew, something was off. Instead of channeling the magic and nostalgia of the beloved fairy tale, Rachel acted like she was above it all. She immediately slammed the story as outdated, practically rolling her eyes at everything that made Snow White iconic. Rather than honoring its sweetness and hope, Rachel gave off major "this is beneath me" energy. And trust, people noticed.
For a business like Disney, you are leaning into what the movie Snow White meant to the people that were raised on it. People like me who watched Disney princess movies when the world was okay and it was acceptable for us to dream about being a princess as a woman and meeting a handsome prince. But oh no, these big bad feminists now are telling us that's ridiculous.
In every interview and social media post, Rachel's frustration bled through. And for someone meant to bring a cherished character to life, her negativity felt jarring, even insulting. Snow White wasn't just a film, it was a cultural landmark symbolizing dreams and timeless love. But Rachel treated it like a dusty relic. Fans who expected warmth got nothing but disdain and eye rolls, as if she couldn't even pretend to respect the magic they grew up loving.
How dare you want to meet a handsome prince and be swept off of your feet and live happily ever after? No, you should want to be the prince. You should want to go out and fight the bad guys with a...
As Rachel kept talking, the backlash exploded. Her annoyance with Snow White's classic themes was constant, not just a one-time slip. She mocked the hopeful heroine, trashed the idea of true love, and acted like the entire story was beneath her. Fans who had treasured Snow White for decades felt utterly talked down to. Some tried to spin it as a modern update, but let's be real, with every smug comment, Rachel only poured more fuel on the fire.
You said you were bringing a modern edge to it on stage. What do you mean by that?
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true.
Enter Candace Owens. And baby, she did not hold back. Known for her no-filter critiques, Candace tore into Rachel, calling her out for her arrogance and short-sightedness. Candace made it crystal clear, if you're blessed enough to step into a role that means so much to so many people, the bare minimum is showing some respect. Instead, Rachel acted like she was doing everyone a favor, and Candace was not here for it.
It's just a really incredible story for, I think, young people everywhere to see themselves in.
Snow White is running for president.
I'm launching my campaign. I am.
Am I the only one that wishes it was 1937? Because I'm just so sick of this.
With her trademark fire, Candace didn't sugarcoat a thing. She flat out said Rachel's attitude was alienating fans long before the movie even had a chance to prove itself. The studio had poured mountains of cash into this live-action remake, banking on nostalgia to draw crowds across generations. But instead of excitement, the vibe was pure dread, all thanks to Rachel's never-ending shade-throwing.
Absolutely, she is just uniquely unlikable, but then it is actually a terrible film as well, so it's the double whammy.
Conversations started swirling everywhere, and it all came back to one brutal truth. Rachel wasn't just criticizing outdated bits, she was trashing the very heart of Snow White. And that left fans wondering, if you hate the story so much, why even be part of it? Candace clapped back again, saying loud and clear, updating a classic is fine, but scorning its very soul, that's just bad taste, period.
Alienate half of the country when you're putting out a product meant to appeal to all. It's the Michael Jordan Republicans buy sneakers too.
Soon the debate exploded way beyond just Rachel. It cracked open a much bigger question. How do you honor beloved old stories in a modern world without disrespecting what made them precious? Some said, look, classics reflect their time. Treat them with care even when you update them. But Rachel seemed to believe everything about Snow White was beyond saving, practically demanding a full-blown radical reboot, and people weren't having it.
Every one of the 18 hours I am in this Snow White dress, I expect to get paid. If it's 18 hours, I want 18 hours of pay. I'm sure she got underpaid as a Disney lead actor.
To longtime fans, Rachel's attitude felt like a personal attack. How could someone who seemed so disgusted with the original even accept the role? Critics, including Candace, started questioning everything, from the casting process to the studio's judgment. Why entrust such a precious legacy to someone who clearly didn't believe in it?
Real problems, and no one gives a shit if she got paid for 17 instead of 18 on her multi-million-dollar salary, which is not calculated by the hour.
Instead of building hype for the movie, Rachel's interviews kept pouring gasoline on the fire. What should have been a dream PR tour turned into a non-stop disaster. Fans felt slapped in the face every time she opened her mouth, and insiders were whispering that things behind the scenes were even worse. Was Snow White about to flop? Before it even hit theaters, if you listened to the streets, the answer was looking like a hell yes.
Encapsulates everything that most of us cannot stand about modern day feminism and the left in general, and Hollywood.
Over on social media, things spiraled fast. Fans were devastated, heartbroken even, watching the wholesome magic of Snow White get steamrolled by Rachel's bitter commentary. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, it did. Rumors exploded, beloved characters were being scrapped, watered down, or twisted, all to avoid outdated tropes. Owens pounced, blasting the studio for gutting the soul of the story just to chase imaginary modern approval.
Her heroine cannot be in love or be saved by a man, the prince, that she's more focused on becoming the leader she was meant to be, as if women in modern day America must make that.
Behind the scenes, chaos. Whispers of delays, messy reshoots, and executive panic filled the air. The studio scrambled to save what should have been a guaranteed hit, but every time Rachel opened her mouth, she made it worse. Owens warned that the spirit of Snow White was vanishing, and judging by the online uproar, honey, she wasn't wrong. And just when the flames couldn't get higher, Rachel went political.
Cannot both be a leader as a female and fall in love and be rescued by a prince. Like, that's incongruous bullshit. That's only the left's version of what it means to be a strong woman or female empowerment.
For a family movie meant to bring people together, Rachel's political comments hit like a wrecking ball. Suddenly, parents, kids, and lifelong fans were boycotting the film. The audience Disney needed was now walking away furious. Owens didn't sugarcoat it. You can't sell a family movie when your star divides families. And honestly, audiences didn't just get mad, they felt betrayed.
I mean, this woman has clicked every box. And just for cherry on top at the end, she gave an interview last week talking about how they were basically a bunch of white supremacists on the set of West Side Story.
Owens didn't let up. She pointed out the obvious. Even if Rachel had a few fair critiques about the original, there were a million better ways to say it. Ways that didn't involve throwing decades of beloved memories under the bus. At this point, desperate speculation began. Would Disney replace Rachel? Delay the movie indefinitely? Some insiders whispered about quietly reducing her presence in the marketing, while others straight up dreamed of recasting, no matter the astronomical cost. But Owens hammered the studio too, saying they enabled this disaster by letting Rachel run wild without reining her in.
Takes a beloved movie and makes it much more boring and much less realistic. The movie is really, really bad.
When the movie finally limped into theaters, it bombed hard. Critics savaged it. Fans, even harsher. Ticket sales? Embarrassingly low. And the reviews said it all. No matter how glossy the visuals were, the movie felt empty, soulless. Rachel's disdain for the original material didn't just stay in interviews, it bled into her performance, draining the story of all the warmth, sweetness, and wonder that had made Snow White a timeless treasure. Beloved characters were missing, crucial moments were gutted. Instead of feeling magical, the movie felt bitter. And when the postmortems rolled in, everyone pointed fingers at the same place, Rachel's mouth. Owens didn't hold back either. She said flat out that Rachel's endless mocking of the original story was the final nail in the coffin. Fans didn't want a lecture, they didn't want scorn, they wanted magic. And they didn't get it.
The only person in the theater. Very few people wanted to see this. Even the little kids who like Disney movies, even they don't seem to be turning up in droves for the movie.
By constantly mocking Snow White as outdated, Rachel Zegler didn't just turn off fans, she pushed them away. Instead of honoring the heart of the story and evolving it with care, the remake felt like one long smug sneer. The consensus? The movie lost its soul before it even hit theaters. Under the weight of modern politics and Rachel's endless disdain, the magic evaporated. Owens said it best. You can update a classic, but you have to keep its spark. Rachel didn't. Instead of lighting a new fire, she snuffed it out. And the tragedy? Even open-minded fans were turned off by her non-stop scorn dripping from every interview. Slowly but surely, reality set in. Rachel's Hollywood shine wasn't just dimming, it was shattering. Her downfall, brutal. casting directors backed away fast. Because why cast someone who trashes the story and the audience? Every modern change made Snow White worse. Fans noticed and roasted it mercilessly. The reboot didn't feel magical, it felt preachy. Audiences don't want lectures, they want wonder, magic, heart. And when they don't get it, honey, they stay home and they drag you through the mud. By the time Snow White stumbled into theaters, it was already a lost cause. No PR spin could save it. The damage was done and permanent. Owens didn't hold back on Disney either. Stop cannibalizing your classics. Stop butchering real stories with woke nonsense. Stop turning fairy tales into bitter manifesto. Audiences feel when the heart's missing, and no amount of CGI can fake it. Hollywood insiders finally admitted what everyone knew. Nostalgia matters. Trash it, and fans will trash you, loudly and proudly. Owens' final brutal truth? Mock the foundation, alienate the fans, destroy the magic, and your movie is dead before it's born. Rachel didn't just sink Snow White, she turned it into Hollywood's ultimate cautionary tale. By the time Disney tried to fix it, it was laughably too late. The fans were gone, the buzz was radioactive, and the fairy tale? Dead. In the end, Snow White wasn't just a flop, it was a warning. Disrespect the magic and lose everything.